Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about microeconomics chapter 8 forms of market. Today's topic is perfect competition market. Beginning itself we can check what is a market. Ordinarily the term market refers to a particular place where goods are purchased and sold. But in economics market is used in a wide perspective. In economics, the term market does not mean a particular place but the whole area where the buyers and sellers of a product are spread. In this context, some important things are there related to this market. First of all, an area. In economics, market does not mean a particular place but the whole region where the sellers and buyers of a product are spread. Modern modes of communication and transport have made this market area for a product very wide. Second, commodity. In economics, a market is not related to a place but a particular product. Hence, there are separate markets for various commodities. For example, there are separate markets for clothes, grains, jewelry, etc. Then buyers and sellers. The presence of buyers and sellers is necessary for the sale and purchase of the product in the market. In the modern age, the presence of buyers and sellers is not necessary in the market because they can do transaction of goods through letters, telephones, business representatives, internet, etc. Free competition. There should be free competition among buyers and sellers in the market. This competition is in relation to the price determination of a product among buyers and sellers. Next is price. The price of a product is the same in the market because a free competition among buyers and sellers. Market structure. Market structure refers to the nature and degree of competition in the market for goods and services. The structure of market both for goods and services are determined by the nature of competition prevailing in the particular market. This is applicable to factor market also. Important determinants of market structure are number of sellers and nature of sellers. The market structure are influenced by the number and nature of sellers in the market. They range from large number of sellers in perfect competition to a single seller in pure monopoly, or two sellers in a duopoly, to a few sellers in oligopoly, and to many sellers of differentiated products. Second determinant is number and nature of buyers. The market structure are also influenced by the number and the nature of buyers in the market. If there is a single buyer in the market, this is the buyer's monopoly and are called monopsony market. Such markets exist for local labor employed by one large employer. Third one, nature of product. It is the nature of product that determines the market structure. If there is a product differentiation, products are close substitutes and the market is characterized by monopolistic competition. Next is entry and exit conditions. The conditions for entry and exit of firms in a market depend upon profitability or loss in a particular market. Profits in a market will attract the entry of new firms and losses lead to the exit of weak firms from the market. In a perfect competition market, there is freedom of entry or exit of firms. Fifth one, economies of scale. Firms that achieve large economies of scale in production grow large in comparison to others in an industry. They tend to weed out the other firms with the result that a few firms are left to compete with each other. This leads to the emergence of oligopoly. If one firm attains economies of scale to such a large extent that it is able to meet the entire market demand, there is monopoly. Based on these determinants, there are various types of markets like perfect competition, monopolistic competition, duopoly, oligopoly, etc. First of all, we can think about the perfect competition market. A perfect competitive market is one in which the number of buyers and sellers is very large, all engaged in buying and selling a homogeneous product without any artificial restrictions and possessing perfect knowledge of market at a time. Important characteristics of perfect competition market are: first one, large number of buyers and sellers. The first condition is that the number of buyers and sellers must be so large that none of them individually is in a position to influence the price and output of the industry as a whole. The demand of individual buyer relative to the total demand is so small that he cannot influence the price of the product by his individual action. Freedom of entry or exit. The next condition is that the firm should be free to enter or leave the industry. It implies that whenever the industry is earning excess profit, attracted by these profit, some new firms enter the industry. In case of loss being sustained by the industry, some firms leave it. Next is homogeneous product. Each firm produces and sells a homogeneous product so that no buyer has any preference for the product of any individual seller over others. This is only possible if units of the same product produced by different sellers are perfect substitutes. In other words, the cross elasticity of the product of sellers is infinite. The next feature is absence of artificial restrictions. There is a complete openness in buying and selling of goods in perfect competition market. Sellers are free to sell their goods at any buyer and the buyers are free to buy from any sellers. In other words, there is no discrimination on the part of buyers and sellers. Next is perfect mobility of goods and factors. Another requirement of perfect competition is the perfect mobility of goods and factors between industries. Goods are free to move to those places where they can fetch the highest price. Factors can also move from a low paid to a high paid industry. The perfect knowledge of market conditions. This condition implies a close contact between buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers possess complete knowledge about the prices at which goods are being bought and sold, and of the prices at which others are prepared to buy and sell. The perfect competition market is having another feature, that is uniform price. Commodity is sold at a uniform price all over the market. Price is determined by the joint effort of buyers and sellers. Here in this diagram you can see that the price in this market is determined by the general interaction of supply and demand. And always the price in this market is uniform. Whatever the quantity they are selling or buying, the price will be same. There are some differences between perfect competition and pure competition market. Perfect competition is often distinguished from pure competition, but they differ only in degree. The first 5 conditions relate to pure competition, while the remaining 4 conditions are also required for the existence of perfect competition. According to Chamberlain, pure competition means competition unalloyed with the monopoly elements, whereas perfect competition involves perfection in many other respects than in the absence of monopoly. The practical importance of the perfect competition is not much in the present times, for few markets are perfectly competitive except those for staple food products and raw materials. That's why Chamberlain says that perfect competition is a rare phenomenon. Though the real world does not fulfill the conditions of perfect competition, yet perfect competition is studied for the simple reason that it helps us in understanding the working of an economy, where competitive behavior leads to the best allocation of resources and the most efficient organization of production. A hypothetical model of a perfectly competitive industry provides the basis for appraising the actual working of economic institutions and organizations in any economy. important revision questions from this module. Question number 1, what do you mean by a market? Question number 2, what are the features of a market or the essentials of market? What are the determinants of market structure? Explain briefly. Fourth one, explain the characteristics of perfect competition market. Fifth one, differentiate perfect competition and pure competition markets.